Hello, I'm Jermaine. I'm the host of Maine No Doubt Show. Thank you again for being here with me, and I'm gonna try to bring all these topics to you the best that I can. Today, I like to call myself the Jack in the Box, cause I like to jump in and out the box. So I'm jumping in and out of some type of box, some kind of way, and I appear to be there when I'm not there. So anyway, I have fun. I try to enjoy my life as much as possible, and that's the reason why I want you guys to enjoy your life. So, in order for anyone to enjoy their life, they got to understand the possibilities of what's out there and what they can and can't do. So, um, um, can you guys see me? No, I was just acting silly. I mean, I'm like a magician. I might be there and I might not. So, overall, uh, overall, I want to talk to you about change, and I know one of the bigger thing about change. I mean, everybody's when they think of change, they think about um, Barack Obama and the change that he proposed to bring to everybody. So that's one of the things that people have a problem with. They actually believe that things are going to change because somebody else is going to change it. Now, most of the time, if you want to have change, it's got to be little gradual changes, and it's got to be things that you do for yourself. Most people, most people, can or can't embrace change. I mean, that's just the way it is. Some people don't like change at all, because change actually um, makes people feel uncomfortable because they're not comfortable with whatever changes is transpiring. So when it comes down to whether or not somebody may be comfortable with you know switching something simple as a bed, because the bed may or may not be something that they're accustomed to, so they may not like it. So, I mean, some people can change, some people can't change. I mean, I had a couple discussions with a couple different people over the week, and I realized that sometimes in a state of comfort, people, you know, um, choose not to change because it puts them in a unfamiliar terrain. So therefore, being in this terrain of uncertainty, they usually become afraid. They won't tell you that they're afraid, and most people won't tell you, their fears because of the probability of vulnerability. So if you're vulnerable, right, and people know that these changes are affecting you, then you may appear to be weak, and sometimes that comes in the form of ego. So sometimes you have to get over your ego to embrace change, because the only way to actually get things to flow in a positive direction is to embrace the change. So a lot of people are not comfortable with change. Now, some change is good, some change is bad. It all depends on who the person that's perceiving it. So how can you perceive something that seem to be bad, as a good change? Well, and unless you really go to the origin of whatever it is that's changing and try to understand it fully, right? You only tapping the surface. I mean, I talk about this all the time because most people, when engaging in conversations, they only like to talk about the surface or topical things that they can possibly get out of the conversation. But in reality, they don't want to dig real deep into that specific conversation, even if it's just a conversation. If it's something with more substance to it, maybe it's an occupation change, right? I mean, some people get, anxieties from changing from one occupation to another, and some people, have anxieties from just meeting new people, because that's a change of their normal environment. So, to get somebody that's normally comfortable with sitting in their house and watching television and anything like that, that is, and switching them into the midst of a lot of people in which they may not be used to networking and socializing with other people, in which at various times socializing with other people can be of some importance. Sometimes it's not. It all depends on what you're obtaining from the networking itself. See, sometimes the networking or being around other people is it could be for reasons of basically having some type of form of human contact, and I've said it before, but a lot of the devices that we have now, electronic devices, they separate people from having normal human intervention, to be able to get out and converse with other people, like people used to do. So personally, I cut my Facebook account. I just got rid of it because I felt like it kept me from being more personable. And that's one thing that people don't realize nowadays, is that it's healthy to have interactions with other people, because you actually get to see. I mean, I know you get video chats and all of that other stuff from all these different social media networking groups. That's nice, and you can see a person's face, but to be able to give a person a hug, or just to be able to pat a person on the back when they're feeling sad or anything like that. These changes have come over time, and we don't actually focus in on those anymore. We don't focus in on actually being there for a person, because we are so detached. We've grown so detached from emotion and feelings, and I gotta say I'm kind of negative on some of those things, because of seeing all the different things over time. These are the different changes that we incur over time, and being around a lot of violence can make you basically immune to having sympathy for other people. It happens. Because you watch all the violence on television, and you're desensitized from watching all of this stuff over time. I mean, so basically, sometimes you may not even know where you sit, but some people still have some attachment to feelings, because some people still sitting and crying at a movie that's heart touching. I mean, I understand, but it's just sometimes with all the things that we encounter, like I say, we end up desensitized to a lot of different things. So, I mean, being able to detach from social media, I guarantee you, it can bring forth better change in your life, because, you actually spend time with the people that's in your environment. And those people are, I would assume, if you really like them, they are important to you, right? The thing about change is you got to know what you can and can't change. You really got to be able to differentiate the differences of what you can and can't change. People, waste a lot of their time trying to, change, other people. The thing about changing other people is because one factor in there is when you believe that you could change another person personally, you sometimes become an authoritative figure or a person that wants or seeks control. And a person that wants to control has, the personality of being overburdening to other people. And they don't understand that that may be a burden to other people by trying to, force a person to do what they want them to do. And therefore, another person will not embrace change. So you can't force a person to change. You can't force a person to be what you want them to be. So they will not accept change. And the only way you can get another person to change, right, is you paint them a picture of what, their probabilities are, what they could be, and what the possibilities are in between. So therefore, you open them up to a level of comfort so that they may be able to embrace that change. Now, if by chance you think you can use force, trust me, I know that I've tried. And trying to use force only put me at a setback. And the only way I get things to change is I paint a bigger picture for people. See, I had to learn it. I had to go talk to other people, counselors and stuff like that get me to switch and change the way I think. See, because the only way you're going to get anything to change is you got to change yourself first. I mean, I was having a discussion with someone earlier this week, and I say, you can't point the finger at everybody else of why you're having problems. You have problems because, most people have problems because they are the creator of their own problems. Most people don't want to accept that. Most people live in denial, right? That's why they have the problem in the beginning. But the only way to fix the problem is to change yourself. You have to point the finger at yourself first. Once you start to analyze and change the things about yourself, everything in your environment actually starts to fall in place. It's spoken into the universe, the energies of the cosmos, receive you, and it actually, return itself to you in favor. It may not seem like it's going to occur, but trust me, once you learn how to, focus and change the things about yourself, everything in your environment seems to change, like, mysteriously. But you got to be patient. You can't just think it's going to happen because that pushes you back into the form of control because you want it to happen when you want it to happen. That's not the way things go. So in order for you to receive change on your behalf, you start changing you, and then the things around you start to change, and then you start to feel better. You feel very well mixed, and the formula starts to brew itself within yourself, and then it starts to manifest in the people that's around you. So if you take a little bit of time to focus on you, to figure out how you can make yourself a better person. It really doesn't matter if you suffer from depression or, if you're just in a state of comfort and don't want to change. It doesn't matter if you're a person that likes to be in control. You need to understand that you need to release the control, because trying to control everything only brings forth more stress. And then the only way you actually gain control is you release that control, and then things start to fall into place. And then you start to see that everybody else, even though you are authoritative, they really respect you a little bit more because you release that surge of power, of wanting to be empowered, or being, even being a man. Oh, I'm the man. Yeah, everybody can be the man, even if you're a woman. Okay, but overall, you can be in charge of a lot of things, but people won't respect you unless you learn how to release the tension and the stress of trying to control. Because the control comes in when people know to respect you just because of you being you being, sensible, reasonable, rational, all of those words. Okay, so Change is good, you know, provided the fact that you know how to handle it. You know, I mean, even bad change is good because sometimes you get bad change and then yet and still you come up with a positive outcome because you learn from the bad change. You know, because a lot of times you can't learn unless there are mistakes or things that happen that's in opposition to the way you think it should occur. So that's the only way you can, gain from a bad change, even though bad may be part of your opinion. But sometimes you learn from those bad changes. See, because what's bad to you may not be bad to someone else. But then sometimes if you can, kind of highlight where the situation may take a negative turn, then you can take some positive energy and apply it to the negative situation at hand, and it actually turns out to either be neutral or positive, and it goes in the direction that you wanted to go. So therefore, you have more change. Okay. Okay. So basically, you know, um, we, we know that change is good, and you got to know what you can and can't change. And like I say, from people to being able to fix an automobile. Some things you can change, some things you can't change. Some things are going to be there and they have to fit together, especially if you're dealing with an engine. Remember, those parts got to fit, and they gotta go together, and they gotta maintain and stay together. I mean, uh, some things, is never going to change. I mean, you can possibly change them, but you got to modify it, like genetically, like rice. You either got to bleach the rice to make it white, or you keep it brown, or then you got black rice. But some kind of way it has to be modified. But some things just won't change. Black rice is black rice, unless someone else changes it. So, know what you can and can't change. Some people don't like to change, their lucky hat or their lucky shirt or their lucky sweater or lucky blanket, and you may not ever get them to change that. That's how Linus was in the Peanuts game. He loved his blanket. So some things you can get people to learn to accept the change, and it may work out well for you. So either way, change is good. Now, I'm going to tap on a little bit about politics. Um, Politics is something that I really don't like to engage in, but over the last couple of years, I've been running through a lot of information and learning that it's still a topic that I really don't like to address. But what I can say is that we have a Democratic Party and we have a Republican Party, and be it the fact that we have this Democratic and Republican Party in this country, there has been a lot of tension that arise from different perspectives. Now, I'm not going to really engage in names and all this other stuff, but there are people that's out here that's diehard Republicans, diehard Democrats, or whatever they may be. The thing about that is a lot of people vote, and voting is all over with. So we in 2016, and we know that the Republicans have the House again, which is okay. It doesn't matter. See, a lot of people like to get caught up on the differentiation in between the politics and everything, because they're like, oh well, the Republicans did that, or the Democrats did that. They play your mind, like a tennis match. Like they just hitting your mind back and forth across the tennis court, right? And they play with you. And some people are just diehard Democrats, diehard Republicans, and they say, oh, I'm a vote Democrat just because I'm Democratic. But then people think that just Democratic, there's a democracy, but then there's things that fall up under the democracy that a lot of people don't see because they really haven't done the research. Some people just vote Democratic because they're their family say vote Democrat. You know, some people vote Republican because their family say vote Republican, but they really not focusing in on the politician in the points of view that each politician wish to address, and what's going to actually be best for them. You know, and some people think that just because you only got the two people on the ballot that you got to vote for just the two people on the ballot. That's not the correct way to vote either. You know, you actually have other people out here that's independent or whatever. You know, you got people that was on the ballot for the greenhouse, whatever. I mean, you can change your thoughts and decisions, you know, based on what you actually think a person share and what's going to be beneficial, not just for yourself, but for the people as a whole. So, like I say, I don't get too deep into politics, but I just know that from over all the years, people have, you know, taken this voting thing too serious, and you find people getting violent at the polls. I mean, it's not necessary. You know, whatever you do, right? Do it because it's you, and you don't necessarily have to do name calling. You don't have to call people out, derogatory names. That's uncalled for. You know, really, there should have been a lot of people. You know, even the candidates and everything that was running, they should have spoke out and say, hey, you know, mellow out. It's not necessary. I mean, it helps people understand that you are really looking out for the best interests of everyone. You know, and that's just, you know, from my heart to anybody else's heart that has some type of understanding that, you know, we can't continue or proceed on, you know, with all this type of violence going on. I mean, that's just the thing with the world right now anyway. It's because everybody has taken, you know, they have taken these issues, you know, that we address, you know, either on a daily, yearly, monthly basis, right? And they stretch them out because of all the differentiations. And once you eliminate the differentiations in between all the possibilities of what you believe and what you don't believe, it ain't what you believe and what you don't believe is ties into your opinion. And your opinion is only, you know, partial understanding. And then you're not even sure of how much fact is bagging your opinion. So it's important that you know exactly who and what you're voting for. You know, if I had to offer an opinion, I could say, oh, everybody's corrupt in politics. Everyone is not corrupt. You know, it's just the way you know, different things are approached. So we have people that, you know, just like to really get caught on one particular thought or subject or whatever about whoever, and they slanderize people. That's what they do throughout the whole campaigning process. Is they slanderize each other and they ridicule each other and make each other look bad. It's not really necessary. Yeah, I can say that, you know, if I went towards the Democratic side and say, hey, well, you know, delete emails. Hey, I don't know what them emails were. It could have been confidential. I think that it's a breach in security if that's a matter. Yes, I believe so. But who knows? I don't know what was in those, so I can't voice my opinion on that. And just as well as some derogatory stuff was said on a bus, you know, about women. I wasn't there, you know, and I can't voice my opinion on that either. It is what it is, and I'm not going to try to change that. But like I say, it's all based on what a person can possibly do, and there's some other people that was out there that can possibly do some things that Everybody can do. I could do things that a whole bunch of people can't do, but it's other people that could do a lot of things that I can't do. So we need to learn how to work with what we have. Hey, I enjoy people for who they are, and I learned to, as long as they're not, trying to be like overbearing. I can work with just about anybody, and I enjoy the people, and I call upon people, and I have great conversations with them because why? Those people are important. That's part of networking. And like I say, they know things that I don't know, and that's the reasoning for my networking with these people. Is because they help me. They help me get to the next stage. They help me understand some of the things that I need to change about myself. Therefore, I can help other people change by the things that I bring to you. So part of that, with that being said, I want you to contact me about this subject, about change. And I want you guys to let me know. Send me an email at enjoyyourlife4313@gmail.com. I really would like to hear from you guys. I'm always talking about something. And this is basically my whole week. I do a lot of talking about a lot of different subjects. And I like to bring you kind of like the ones that I've been in contact with in my immediate past. So, like I say, enjoyyourlife4313@gmail.com. Let me know what you think. I appreciate you being here with me. This is the Main No Doubt Show, and I am your host, Jermaine. Thank you guys. You have fun.